Greetings again, fellow collectors. We have a Kengfai Audi R8 Coupe Performance, which means it's the top of the line R8. This is the facelifted version of the current generation R8, which is the second generation. And so it basically was facelifted in October of 2018, according to the internet. I have a Kengfai Land Cruiser, and although the paint scheme is a bit weird on it, it is the best SUV in 164. So I have a lot of respect for this brand based on that one model, but let's see if this thing can hold up to that. So this is officially licensed, so I would have to imagine it's probably pretty good. It's just like a weird speed graphic there. It's printed on the no, it's a separate piece of cardboard. But anyways, and unfortunately it's going to go right in the trash. Okay, so the lid is kind of tight, not bad. Or there's tape. Yep, there's tape. Alright. And then what's going on here? Maybe QC paper? That's a big piece of paper right there. And I'm assuming it's for QC. Maybe. I don't know. I don't read this language, so not sure. Okay. Alright, so it's still pretty tight. So that's a good case. Not going to just fall apart on you. Open lengthwise to keep the mirrors from getting messed up. And then it's got this little blister to keep it from shipping damage, so as long as the paint doesn't scratch from that blister, it seems like a good idea. Now this is new to me, the way they actually hold this. Usually, you know, I'm used to a screw, but this is using 4 plastic tabs to keep that model from rattling around. And then this thing is actually screwed onto the base. Interesting. It's got a really shiny, you know, name tag here. It's a little bit warped, but that doesn't bother me. I'm more about the model than the base. Pretty flexible base too. Okay, let's see. Let's compare these photographs first. This is a serious performance car. I mean, this thing, the up facelifted version is putting out over 600 horsepower, and 0 to 60 is 3.1 seconds. So that's really fast, of course, and it'll go over 200 miles per hour. So, very nice. Alright, let's see the overall proportions. Oh! I gotta pull up a new photo. Okie dokie. I was just looking at the wheels and I didn't even realize that was a convertible a spider picture. But I managed to find a photo with the same wheels on the coupe. So, yeah, look at that. Tracing the hood lines. Pretty similar. Right? You know, again, being a licensed product, it has to be approved by Audi, so that's why it's good. Okay. This is always the hard one. Pretty big exhaust on this thing. Alright. Okay. So let's get into this a little more detail here, a little tighter. So it's a pretty nice metallic blue. Just looking at it with my own eyes, I guess it's a medium blue. Yeah, so this little panel is painted black, so I'm gonna guess maybe that's supposed to be carbon, or can you change the color of these, I wonder? You know, can you order a blue car and then pick what color this is gonna be? Maybe. I mean, I'm sure this car is quite expensive. I didn't look up the list price, but it's gotta be 6 figures, right? So yeah, nice brakes. I think it's supposed to have carbon brakes, but Kengfai took some liberties, because if there were black brake rotors, you wouldn't really see much of them. I will say that the edge of the rotor is really strange. You see how that cutout is crossing the outside border of the circle? I don't think brake rotors have that, right? Because the brake pad would grab that edge and probably prematurely wear it down. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. I do like the printing on that red brake caliper. I'm not sure if it's 100% legible, but it looks like Audi something. You know, that little text is hard to make out. But the Audi seems pretty legible, so that's really nice. And then these wheels, you know, I guess they're okay. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. This is supposed to be exposed carbon on the real car, from what Wikipedia tells me at least. So this thing has separate mirrors, and there's a little silver stripe on the mirrors. Maybe that lights up on the real car. This has real reflectors in there, so very realistic. Then we have this fuel filler, and it looks like there's some extra detail on there. I don't know if that's legible, if that's text or what. Does that say R8? It's black. I'm going to guess it's supposed to say R8. It's pretty close. Alright, this is 4 times magnification. Little paint issue right there in the underneath the middle of the window, but actually I can see it with my own eyes too, but oh well. Alright, so molded mirrors, you know, such shallow mirrors, distorted. Okay. There's some sort of V10 printing there. This texture in here seems to be a separate piece because it's such a fine break, and I can see a little bit of a ledge. This little inlet here is painted. I read that this is supposed to create a little extra downforce. Alright, different grill here. Well, you know, I'm just looking at the back of the photo. It's a pretty wide grill, but I do feel like maybe this is a wider pattern than on the real photographs. I do like that it says something on the license plate, so that's nice. And then the Audi rings, they're black on this one. Are they a decal or they're raised? They're 3-dimensional. And I think there's a little glue residue there. I think it might be like a foil thing and they glued it on. You can really see the metallic flake there. I like it. Headlights. Clear lenses. And it seems to be like a black bucket behind there. Yeah, alright. And maybe a projector here on the side. It's more visible in that one. Looks good enough. Wiper blades, 2 metal pieces. Not bad. There's blackout printing on the window. Can't tell if it's on the inside or the outside. It's kind of wavy. I'm not sure if that's done on purpose. See that waviness? But it might be there as well. Not sure. Okay, this side, oh, what's that? Thankfully, it's just some tissue. Alright, I didn't notice there's a little door handle up in here, so that's cool. Alright, rear wheels. I'm just looking at the stance. I do feel the front one is fine, but I kind of feel like the rear is riding too high right here, you know? This is supposed to be a supercar that goes 200 miles per hour, so I do feel that that's too high, that stance. And it is the same on this side, so yeah, that's too bad. I definitely like the front more. So, and also I'm not sure if the wheel is even centered. It could be a bent axle. I feel like the whole wheel is pushed back a little bit and low. This side, a little bit more centered, so maybe it is a bent axle. Okay, let's continue on. These will fall off quite easily. Oh, I think I may have messed it up already, just slightly touching that thing. So be careful of that. Ooh, alright. Yeah, I messed that up already. Alright. Well, let's continue on to the back here. Nice clear lenses there, and a little silver stripe on them. A little depth behind there. Looks like there might be silver behind that red plastic. The logos, again, nice 3-dimensional. Maybe a little bit crooked. This thing here, let's zoom in on that one. Yeah, that's an R8. Looks good. License plate looks good. Texture again. And then big black exhaust pipes here. And there's some depth to the middle of them. So I do feel like in that rear photograph I pulled up that these exhaust tips are chromed. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. Okay. This rear wing is pretty good. It's not very thick plastic. This is a fairly nice texture up here. Now see, I kind of feel like this texture belongs to these grills. The grill looks a little more muted. This looks far more precise. Let's see what's going on in this engine. So nice printing there. V10 FSI, I think it says. Or I'm not sure what that middle letter or number is. And then the engine has some silver paint. Looks alright. Sorry, my fingerprint's already messing that up. Let's check out this interior. I think we're going to need the flashlight on this one. And I'm not sure if we're going to... Well, alright, we can get in there. Let me put this down. Focus right on that window. Zoom in. Oh, So let's see what we can see now. Seats have a interesting little texture. Stick shift is really good, or well, maybe it's not a stick shift, but you know, the transmission knob there. Steering wheel seems to have an Audi set of rings there in the center, so that's good. Yeah, instrument cluster has some sort of decal, I'm thinking, with some you know, gauges illuminated there. The middle console there looks like it's got some molded in details, so that is not bad at all. Let's see if there's anything else we can see here. Door handle. Yeah, I think the door handle is even painted silver. No seat belts because it's just a stock road car, I think. Alright, no complaints about the interior. Looks pretty neat. What about the bottom of this guy? Be mindful of those wiper blades. And I flipped it the wrong way, of course. So it's nice to see Kengfai, the brand. We see the scale, we see what the car is, where it's made. What we're missing is the copyright date, you know, or the date of manufacture. It looks like this is plastic, metal plastic, and whatever. I don't really care about the details, but on the bottom, but I do like the tire treads. They look pretty nice, and the staggered width tires as well. And then you can see these pins here, so just like that Land Cruiser, I'm pretty sure this guy can steer. So, yep, there you go, very cool. So, you know, if you're into dioramas or just taking photographs, this will look, you know, a little less boring than your standard cars. Alright, so speaking of some other cars, let's compare this to a few others. So I just pulled out a bunch of other two-seater sports cars here. Here we have a Tarmac Works branded Aston Martin DBS Superleggera in a pretty crazy yellow. This next one is a Kyosho branded Ferrari 488 GTB. Much darker blue on that guy. We have next a Mini GT branded Huracan Lamborghini. And then let's see, we have a Garandian Partners McLaren 540C. Alright, so there's a bunch of other cars. I'm not sure if people would cross shop these or not. I'm sure some of the prices are quite there's quite a big spread in pricing, but maybe I'm wrong. Alright, let's let this guy spin on its own. Alright, well, I gotta say, I'm still happy with the brand Kengfai. I think they're pretty smart. There's no scratches on the paint, so it does seem like at least that blister pack and that strange mounting system, it allows you to have a more realistic bottom, which frankly, again, I don't really care about, but I care about the top, and that the top looks fine. Do be mindful that those wiper blades are quite sensitive, so if you just touch them, they're probably going to move, if not fall off completely and vanish in your carpet. And then the steering wheels, you can just see it, right? It's nice. It's a nice feature. I would much rather have steering wheels than opening hood panels and opening doors, you know, that look unrealistic. So for me, this is a much more realistic thing. But again, for you people that love rolling cars, this brand might not be for you. It's just not going to happen. Again, the only criticism, I suppose, would be that rear tire and its gap with the fender. It does seem a bit high, right? So, but the base, if I recall, no, where's the screw? That's interesting. I guess these plastic things must be glued in place or something, or maybe they pop off. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a phone pry bar and see if I can pop off one of these plastic panels and find a screw, and maybe I can adjust that riding stance, or maybe not, because it's got the brake systems. Well, anyways, I'll let you know what I find out. Okay guys, well, Kengfai, Still gonna buy more of them. In fact, they have a convertible or the Spider version of this car. I just don't like the color choices that they put out in this first batch, but maybe in their second run they'll do a different, like, metallic color, and I'll get that later on. Alright, as usual, thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Bye now.